What do you do after you've driven 3,000 miles from California to North Carolina? You get in a car and you drive another 1,000 miles to Maine. Welcome back to Obsolete Automotive. I'm Austin, and today's video is a short preview of another road trip. So this road trip is basically a 2,000 mile round trip to New England and back. So basically, after I got home from California on the 3,000 mile trip in this 66 Chrysler Town and Country station wagon, I was here for a couple days taking care of a few things at the house and whatnot. Then I hopped in the car and boom, blasted up to Maine. Main reason was I'd never been there before. And also, once I'd gone to those New England states, then I could say I've been to all 48 contiguous United States of America, which is kind of cool to be able to say. Someday I might be able to get to Alaska. I can at least drive there. Hawaii, we'll see. I can't drive to Hawaii, but maybe someday I'll be able to go there, and that way I can say I've been to all 50 states. Yeah, and also comment how many of y'all have been to 48 or 50 of the states. I'm just kind of curious, or maybe even say how many states you've been to all total in your current lifetime. So I'm just kind of curious how many people have been to that many states. It's just like I wouldn't necessarily say it's bragging rights, but it is kind of cool to be able to say you've been to, all of the, contiguous 48 states. But anyways, yeah, comment, let me know where all of you've been, how many states you've gone to. I'm just kind of curious what the, average person that's viewing this channel, what all states they've been to. Do they like to road trip or travel or whatever? Anyways, so this video, it's a short preview. It's going to take me some time to compile and edit all the footage I took on this trip. It was about, I guess it was like 10 days long or something like that. And I spent several of those days in Maine, and then went to all the other states. In order to get all 48, I had to drive through them all, including Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Vermont, all the states essentially. I will like to go in the future to some of those other states that I didn't really get to spend a whole lot of time in, just to check them out. I know there's a lot to see, but obviously you can't all fit it in one trip. So anyways, this trip had a little more issues than the California trip. California, I didn't really have much for car problems other than like burning a lot of oil. But, the few things I had to fix before I left, like the alternator and the voltage regulator were like burnt up, I guess. And the air conditioner didn't work, things like that. But on this New England trip, I had some stuff happen that would essentially strand you, and maybe for most people they would get stranded, but I used my ingenuity, my knowledge, whatever you want to call it, and got the car fixed. So you could see that in the video. Had a couple other things happen, but that was the main thing. Spoiler alert, a radiator blew up essentially. So you can learn how to fix your radiator on the side of the road, and it was a bad a bad pop, like the whole tank popped open. So that was a little iffy if I was going to be able to continue the trip. I was already 1,000 miles into it, and I had another 1,000 miles to go, so I was kind of like, man, my luck, I guess. But it all worked out. So you can see the whatever you want to call it, the stress, the drama, whatever, during that point where I was trying to get the car fixed and all that. But it all worked out. But anyways, you probably saw that if you follow me on Instagram. If you don't, follow along at Obsolete Automotive. And like I said, this video is just a short preview. It's kind of like the preview video I did for the California trip. It's just, show a few things I went to, draw a little interest, and after a while, once I get it all edited and everything, I'll post the full video. I'm not sure how long it's going to be yet. Probably pretty long. If it's like the California trip, which was after a bunch of editing, was like 4 hours long or whatever it was. But basically this trip would mean I drove this car about 5,000 miles essentially nonstop, because I only had like a couple day break in North Carolina before I jumped in the car and took off to New England. So in this video, you'll get to see some of the sights in New England, different things you can do, kind of car oriented in a lot of ways. Mount Washington, that was a little precarious at times, so drove the car up to the top, which is really cool. A little pricey, but really cool views up there. And that does have bragging rights, because you get the bumper sticker, you get to slap that on the car and brag to everyone that you drove your car all the way to the top. It's like a 6,000 foot elevation. Was it 8 miles, I think, of very steep grades going up, and obviously very steep grades going down. So you can see that. You get to see different food. Obviously, I was in Maine, so lobster, had to, see what that's all about, because honestly, never really had it before. We stayed at a couple different lodging types. We stayed at cabins, motels, things like that. So you can check out the things that you can do to get up there. Obviously, I left from North Carolina, went up to Maine, went across to Vermont, back down. So really good trip. Of course, it was unseasonably hot. We wanted to go up to New England because it was supposed to be a lot cooler, but honestly, it was like just as hot here in North Carolina as it was in Maine. It was like in the upper 90s. And once again, I was glad I had the air conditioning, because that really made it a lot more bearable. But trip was good. All kinds of things we've done: museums, lighthouses, mountains, parks, roadside attractions, whatever. There's a lot of stuff we did, so be sure to check it out. If you like this video, and obviously the full-length video is coming, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for getting the notification on the full-length trip. If you haven't watched the California trip, go ahead and check that out. I'm gonna post links to all those in the description, and that way you can kind of get the whole kit and caboodle, the whole trip. Basically northern western United States all the way around to northeastern United States in a 1966 model car. So that proves, yes, you can drive a classic car long distances and have a good time. So with that being said, going to enjoy the preview, I guess, and stay tuned for that full-length video. I got some other videos coming too, and I got more road trips coming. Always getting more cars, that's the problem. So anyways, thanks for following along. Don't forget to subscribe and enjoy the little preview, and I hope you enjoy the full-length one when I get that posted ASAP.